This song is for those who inspire us today, who always lend a helping hand.
Go ahead.
So my favorite teacher's name was Miss Castleberry from Rockmore Elementary School. She was either my third or fourth grade teacher back when we didn't switch classrooms. I don't remember which class, either third or fourth. I remember every detail of her face, hair, skin, even her height. Miss Castleberry was also my older brother's previous teacher just the year before she was mine, and he loved her too. She had such a great spirit, always happy and in a good mood. I mean, the woman never had a bad day, and if she did, we had no way of knowing it. I remember I had on this orange tank top, and mind you, I'm in my 30s now, just so you understand the impact this had on me, that I still remember what I was wearing on all these years later. But she told me my skin color was absolutely beautiful, and to never let anyone ever tell me any different. Now, even though I am a Black woman, I never struggled with low self-esteem with my skin complexion. However, she gave me an extra confidence about myself that day. Or perhaps let me see a difference about myself that I was too innocent or still too innocent or naive to notice, and make me more confident about it before someone had a chance to make me feel like my skin color was something to feel bad about. Miss Castleberry was great in that way. She also convinced me to run for student council, which is still the only time to this day that I ever did that, but still happy that I did. She talked to my mom about me staying after school so she could help me with the campaign posters. Then when they were done, she let the class help me with the fun around the school. I remember the day came for us to give our speeches in the auditorium/cafeteria. I was so nervous. I don't remember what all my speech said, but I do remember the very last line because Miss Castleberry could not wait to mess with my older brother. It read, If you vote for me, I can promise you one thing, I'm nothing like my older brother, Dominique. That really got the staff and older kids laughing because my older brother was really popular and a bit of a handful, if you know what I mean. In the end, I lost by a few votes to an older kid, and Miss Castleberry was so proud. I was too, because once again, she gave me a confidence boost, being in front of a large crowd, being comfortable with people. Miss Castleberry was my favorite teacher because she was positive, motivating, and inspirational, which is exactly the type of teacher that I want my students to remember me by one day. Which is exactly the type of teacher that I want my students to remember me to be one day. That is all.
Okay, my favorite teacher is Mrs. Tennell. She is my intermediate algebra teacher. I first had her in the 7th grade. I then had her again my senior year. The reason Mrs. Tennell is my favorite teacher is because she's always willing to help me. In math class, I go up to her a lot. Sometimes I feel like I am bothering her too much, but she always reassures me that she's there to help, and that no matter how hard the math is, that I can do it. And when I'm struggling, Mrs. Tennell always tells me that I can do it and is always willing to help me no matter how many times I ask. She is also my favorite teacher because she is an amazing role model. She didn't go to college until she was older and is always reassuring her students that they can do well in school and is always sharing her story. Mrs. Tennell also gives me the time I need to finish my assignments and gives me extra time to finish tests. Earlier this school year in January, I got into a major car accident. I completely totaled my car and my sister got really hurt. Her face was cut open from her forehead down to her eyelid and needed surgery, and major nerves were cut in her face and she lost some vision. And Mrs. Tennell told me that I didn't need to worry about her class and that I had plenty of time to make up work. I love going to her class, and she has shown me that I can do well in math and that I actually enjoy it and I'm pretty good at it.
My favorite teacher is Miss Baker from Vineland Elementary because she taught me about life and how to respect and treat people even when you're angry. She always handled every situation calmly and was always very well respected with other teachers, or by other teachers. She always told us every morning, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, and was always telling us life stories of things she did at our age and teaching us about life even with school. She always had love for children and owls. Every kid in her class has gotten her something with an now, and she keeps all of them in her classroom. She has so many old things of owls and things that children have given her. She's such a kind soul, and she's always so sweet. I lost track. Sorry. Every year for a week we try and every year for a week we would try and get as many readings done as possible in school so we could get to the top and have a pizza party. Even if we didn't make it to the top, she would throw us a big party anyways, even if we didn't get all the way up there or make very good scores. She was always giving gifts and helping us all study, even with everything that we learned different. Most of all, she taught all the ways that needed to be, and she was attentive to the whole classroom every day. She made school fun by teaching with activities and paperwork and even presentations. Everyone, every day, had an opportunity to go up to the board and write a correct date and month and spell correctly until we got it right. She even got up with a big smile on her face every day. She even once brought her kid into the classroom to join us and teach us how middle school is. She was my all-time favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher was Miss Van Heat. She was my DECA teacher my sophomore, junior, and senior year. She was my favorite teacher because she treated everyone the same. She always held everybody accountable. I remember one time I ditched her class on a very important test day I had. So the next day I went in to take the test, and she told me no, that I should have showed up when the test was administered. Later on in the year, she finally let me make up the test after never ditching her class again. She always, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. With everything that she taught, it was always a life lesson behind it as well. So like with me ditching class, I had to prove to her that I could show up in every single day before she let me take the test again. And she was always a teacher that worked with the students and not against them, and that is really what I aspire to be as a teacher. Is I always just want to have the best interests of the kids, and she really showed me what a good teacher looks like.
My favorite teacher. Growing up in a small town, everyone knows one another, and we are really close. With that, there are pros and cons. Some teachers are biased to some students because they are close with their families and outside the school. And great teachers treat everyone the same. Miss Thomas is my favorite teacher because she is kind and fair to everyone. From elementary to high school, I've had many favorite teachers. I can recall a time when I was in the second grade. The teacher that helped me, knowing my family was very poor, used to help me get school supplies and coats. To junior high, where my first year in a new setting was the same as a new junior high teacher. He was kind and even played games with us to help make sure we got our work done. In high school, it was much different. This is where I was the closest with the teacher. My English teacher, Miss Thomas, who I had in junior high, is a great teacher who I started off on her dad's side. I'd always mess around, talk, and get in trouble while in junior high. When I got to high school, things got way more competitive, and I was worried all the teachers hated me. I signed up for some classes with Miss Thomas in high school, and even took creative writing that she taught. Still being young and immature, I still messed around, but she laughed and messed around as long as we got our work done. That was the one mistake I didn't do in junior high, was I never got my work done, and that's all she wanted. Over time, I became her teacher's aide, and it was a great class. For 3 years, I was her teacher's aide, and we worked great together. We graded faster together, took together, and got work done. She told me one day that I would make her a teacher myself. In Christmas break of my junior year, my mother passed away, and being heartbroken and sad, she was the only teacher to really step up and help me with my classes. She was always there to make sure I was okay, always make sure I did my work and wasn't my butt. I learned over time that she always bothered me about my work was because she cared. Anytime I needed help, she was happy to be there, and never got annoyed. Even when I didn't do my work or still needed help, she would be there and help. I would wear the same bit of backpack every year, and I ended up just carrying this around. As a great teacher and a great person, she surprised me in high school with that. She used to keep water and drinks in the back. If I had a bad day, she would try her best to make it a little better and give me water. In freshman year, I joined speech, and she was a speech leader. Most football players don't do speech as it interferes, but I still did it because she wanted me to badly, because she said I was always funny and I could do humor. She ended up talking to our athletic director and our principal over and over to help me get going. And once football was over, they said that I was able to go to meets. The experience I had in speech was great. Going to state 3 times and being a speech captain for 2 years, I'm really thankful that she worked so hard to let me join. When I think back, it's crazy how a teacher I thought who didn't like me because of my junior high year ended up getting me to join a club I thought I'd never join, and ended up being my favorite teacher. There are a bunch of teachers that do good every day, but in my case, my favorite teacher is someone who treats you fair and acts as if they care. Miss Thomas is a teacher that I would trust to give me helpful advice, and is the reason why I'm inspired to be a great teacher. Teachers everyone there, and I feel like every kid should be treated that way, and I can start with myself.